Welcome to Center Heist Productions. It is August 6th, 2023. Please hit the likes and subscribes below. It would be muchly appreciated. Breaking news, as Tony Marinaro would say. Yeah, his joke about somebody who was on Twitter. Anywho, let's get right to it. The massive trade, and that's why I titled it the way I titled it. The impossible trade of nobody figured we'd be able to unload Mike Hoffman. Well, it has been accomplished. Hughes does it again. He unloads Mike Hoffman, who ends up going to San Jose. This is a three-way trade with San Jose, Pittsburgh, and Montreal. Hoffman goes to San Jose. Pitlick goes to Pittsburgh. Okay, so what Montreal gets in return, and this was so that Pittsburgh could get Erik Karlsson from San Jose, so they needed to unload somebody to have the money to be able to get him. So that's why we're getting Jeff Petrie back. Yes, a year later, and yes, there's 2 years left, but they're paying 25% of his contract. Pittsburgh is, and Montreal will be stuck with it's 4,687,005.5, whatever you want to call that. And the Habs also they get Petrie. They also get 31-year-old goaltender from Pittsburgh, Casey DeSmith, and Nathan Leger, a winger who is AHL caliber from what I understand, and played with their affiliate and did half decently. He's only 22 years old, Nathan Leger. And Montreal also, for taking that load of the burden of the salary, which puts them well above the salary cap, they also get a second round pick. Now wasn't really clear which second round, if that was Pittsburgh's second round or San Jose's second round. But anyway, Montreal gets a second round pick in return. This is marvelous. To unload Mike Hoffman, where we needed to make space up front for the forwards. This was our big problem. Was we didn't know what we were going to do, and have someone like Mike Hoffman having to be forced in the lineup and take a spot from one of these young kids just didn't sit well. And we still got a couple more pieces to deal with by trade deadline, but at least the worst part, the main one that had to go, was Mike Hoffman. This is a huge accomplishment for Kent Hughes and Gordon, and I tip my hat off to them. I'm so impressed because getting rid of Joanne and Hoffman in one season, getting the bad culture out of the team. That is beautiful. And, it's great because, we look at it as Harvey Pinard probably has a spot. Heineman's going to have a spot. Maybe this opens up a spot for Yolonen. Trying to say his name right. And, who knows, right? It will, there's two bodies that just left, so hopefully that helps things out. And it should. Gives the kids more ice time, and you don't have to waste it on an effortless player. So this is great news. The bad news is we get Jeff Petrie back in that package. However, there was a statement in this trade at the end from Montreal that they are already in the works of moving Petrie out. So this is good news. So do not expect Jeff Petrie to stay, especially with the way he left Montreal. He doesn't want to be there, and I'm sure Gordon doesn't want to have him or use. However, they did it in order to unload, which was worse. We got to weigh out the things here, and it was worse to have Mike Hoffman there. And so, sorry to see Rem Pitlick go, and I congratulate him because he's a good kid. But it was a matter of, time before he was going to lose his position in Montreal anyway, between him and Evans, because the caliber that's coming up in the young talent. There's no doubt in my mind it's a matter of time those two are getting pushed out of the lineup one way or the other. So that's another problem gone, and Pittsburgh gets him. And he's probably going to help Pittsburgh quite a bit, especially with the addition of Erik Karlsson and him. That's kind of good additions that Pittsburgh needed. But for Montreal, this is wonderful news. This is joyful. We, as Habs fans, need to celebrate this. We've been begging for this to happen. Now all we have to do is deal with Yoel Armia and Gallagher's contract. I know some people are looking at Dvorak. Dvorak is a different story because Dvorak has the work ethic and he doesn't get the credit. He will end up getting traded. I hate to say it, but he has the work ethic. He's got value to him. Whereas I hate to say it, I don't know what we're going to do with Gallagher. This is a nightmare situation because to me, Gallagher is fourth line material. Lucky if he can get onto the third line. And I don't even know if he has the speed anymore to do so. And his body's just not keeping up with him. So, however, anyway, this is great news. The Sharks get they get Michael Granlund from Pittsburgh, Jan Ruda on defense, a forward and a defenseman, and a first round draft pick from Pittsburgh. So I got a feeling that Pittsburgh gave up the first round draft pick and the second round. So that's what they gained. Well, with Pittsburgh, uh, that like I say, they get Rem Pitlick and Eric Carlson in this whole deal. So this is a wonderful thing. It went down. I just wanted to break it to the following year. That I'm sure there's probably a few other sites bringing it out as well. But this is horrendous, and this is why I so much trust the Habs in Hughes' hands and Gordon's hands, because what they have done within these 2 years is quite unbelievable with how many guys have been unloaded from that were problematic with changing of the guard and this rebuild. This is totally beautiful, and it really opens up some spaces. And don't be surprised if you see, one more trade, because we've heard Evans' name out in the air as well, that Edmonton has interest. We'll find out how true that is. That would be good because there's too many guys down below with better talent. Sorry to say, Evans is not what he used to be since concussions, and I love Evans, just like I really liked Pitlick, but unfortunately, I think if anything, they would have been collected on waivers. So we just got to see what happens with Evans and Ermia and Gallagher. I think we're going to be stuck with. I don't know. I think that's a nightmare in itself. And whether I think Dvorak's a trade deadline thing. I hate to see him go. He's a good worker, but he doesn't fit into the speed end of things for Montreal. So I just wanted to thank you very much for joining me. We will have that lineup projection for opening night for you coming. That was supposed to be my next episode. However, this jumped up, and I want to thank and congratulate Ren Pitlick for what he's done in Montreal. I want to thank and just send the congrats to Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon, and to Montreal Canadiens fans and the organization. This was a great accomplishment. So thank you very much. Please hit the likes and subscribe below. Tell your friends about it. We're trying to gain momentum with the community. And we like to be direct and give you the facts. I'm not one for dwelling on falsehoods. So anyway, there you have it. And where does the puck drop first? Here at Center Ice. Remember that. Okay. We'll see you in the next episode. God bless.